It always bothered me when someone told me they refused to watch anything animated. That if the characters aren't real actors, then the story has somehow been cursed to be silly and childish. Now, I do understand where this idea originated. From the beginning, animation has always been tied to a younger demographic. From Oswald to Steamboat Willie, animation was used to grab children's attention. The Disney Renaissance didn't help this idea either, almost cementing to the Western audience that animation meant family-friendly. However, I believe it's a bit naive to believe it's the style of filmmaking alone that grabbed those children's attention. There's plenty of live-action children's films if both are targeted for kids and aim for that family-friendly demographic. Why is it that animated movies dominate at the box office? Why do companies put millions into a cartoon rather than a far cheaper live-action film? Well, it's simple. Children still have something adults don't. Kids have imagination. It's the endless possibilities of the animation that draws them in. Out of all types of filmmaking, animation captures the most of man's imagination. It is, for all intent and purposes, moving art. Some of the greatest films ever made are animated. From Up to The Iron Giant, animation lets storytellers show their entire artistic vision with no setbacks. No expensive CGI or Hollywood sets, nothing holds back the artist.
Well, we can duck and cover. There's a fallout shelter right there.
There's no way to survive this, you idiot!
You mean we're all going to
die, Mansley, for our country.
Screw our country! I want to live!
With this unlimited potential, one can tell stories so fantastical that they just wouldn't work in real life. While the West has slowly begun to shrug off their perceived child-only feelings towards the art form, other countries have leaped ahead. This is no more obvious than with Japan. Anime is huge in Japanese culture. I mean, the 2020 Japanese Olympic Game ambassador is Goku, for Pete's sake. All of Japan loves anime, not just children. This has led to a flourish in artistic freedom. Stories like Akira have used the genre to create fantastical cities of the future. The famous Ghost in the Shell uses it to explore discussions of life and death and what it truly means to be alive. Studio Ghibli alone has made a bunch of famous films with dreamlike designs to visualize all types of ideas. What I'm getting at is that anime is a filmmaker's dream. It's the freedom of the art form that has let Japan have such an influential filmography. So when I was told that Netflix had gained the rights to stream Neon Genesis Evangelion, one of the most critically acclaimed and groundbreaking animes of all time, I wasn't just excited, I was ecstatic. I knew almost nothing about the show. I truly was going in fresh. From what I saw online, I knew there would be robots and girls with really crazy hair colors, some weird religious imagery, and massive monster fights. As a fan of shows like Transformers or Voltron, this seemed right up my alley. The genre of mecha, or shows that center on giant machines controlled by people, may usually falter in the storytelling division, but never fail to give stellar action. I was very excited, to say the least. However, something was nagging at me, digging at my core. Now, don't get me wrong, I was all aboard the Evangelion hype train. It's just, the cynic in me just couldn't understand. How could this show not just be iconic, but be seen as a masterpiece? I mean, giant robots fighting big monsters is great and all, but for people to hold it in the same regard as Ghost in the Shell? That was a tall order. I was worried that maybe I was expecting too much of an old 1995 show. So I watched it, and you know what I found out?
星のように少年よ神話になれ
I was wrong. Dead wrong. Neon Genesis Evangelion, or The Gospel of the New Century, begins on September 13th, 2000. Humanity faces near complete annihilation after a cataclysmic event referred to as the Second Impact. An explosion, the largest in human history, is mysteriously fired off in the Antarctic. The explosion immediately melts the Antarctic ice cap and shifts the entire Earth's axis, causing apocalyptic chaos. We fast forward to 2015. Humanity has survived and finally begins to rebuild. Our main character, 14-year-old Shinji Ikari, is summoned to the futuristic city of Tokyo 3 by his father Gendo Ikari. Gendo is the head of the mysterious special defense organization known as NERV.
Special Agency NERV?
Yeah, it's a secret organization operating under the UN.
My father works there, doesn't he?
That's right. And do you know what it is your father does?
A teacher once told me that he has the admirable job of defending humanity.
When Shinji first arrives, he witnesses an attack from a giant monster. With the help of NERV officer Misato Katsuragi, Shinji escapes the beast and makes it to NERV headquarters. Once there, Shinji is told of his true purpose of his summoning. He has been selected as the third children, a child who has been specifically chosen to protect humanity from the monster he saw outside. The monster, called an angel, is one of a race of powerful beings who has been foretold in the prophetic Dead Sea Scrolls. For those unsituated with Jewish history, the Dead Sea Scrolls are the only discovered biblical texts written before the 2nd century. The scrolls, according to Gendo Ikari, foretell the appearance of the angels and their one goal, to create a third impact. NERV, knowing this day would come, spent the last 15 years building humanity's only hope against the angels, massive robots known as the Evangelions. As the third child, Shinji has been specifically tasked with operating an Eva 1. Without any time to spare, Shinji is told that the only other pilot, Rei Ayanami, or the first children, is badly injured and thus he must operate Eva 1 and defeat the angel approaching Tokyo 3, or else he and everyone else will die. Pretty good setup for a standard mecha show, right? I mean, we establish our world, our robots, and our young main hero. However, what happens next is why this show went from iconic to groundbreaking.
Why me? Because this task would be impossible for others.
It's impossible for me too. I've never even heard of this thing until now, and you want me to fight in it?
They will explain how.
Explain? It's all too much. I cannot pilot this thing!
Shinji says no. From this point onward, Evangelion begins to show its true colors. What at first came off as a sci-fi mecha versus monster action show, in reality, dug at something far deeper. This was a show not about man saving the world, but instead a show about man saving himself. A show about loneliness, depression, and a search for worth. But most importantly, it was a show about not running away.
Run away! Don't run away! Don't run away! Don't run away! I'll do it. I'll be its pilot.